Welcome back to my channel. It's nice to see you all again. It's been a long time since my last video, so it feels good to be back, you know. So today I thought I would do a top 20 favorite video games of all time. It's been a long time since I've done my top 10, and since then I've kind of rearranged my top 10 a little bit, just a little. This was a very, very difficult video to make with the 20 favorite games of all time in order. Very difficult, but I do believe I have my top 10 locked in forever. But 11 through 20, I think I feel pretty good about it, but yeah. I want you to let me know what you guys think about this list. So let's get started. Okay. Alright, number 20 is Dino Crisis. Made by the same creators of Resident Evil, Capcom. I've only beaten this game once, and I know there's multiple endings and a lot of replayability in this game. It's similar to Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, where you can choose to make decisions like, would you rather listen to this character or the other character in the game throughout the game? And whatever you decide to do will have an impact on the game, the choices you make, which is really cool. Play as Regina. But yeah, this was a great game. Yeah, it's basically fighting dinosaurs instead of zombies. Obviously, Resident Evil, you guys know, is my favorite video game franchise of all time. But this is still good, so I thought I'd put it at number 20. 19, which I've only beaten once. I still have yet to 100% the game. I got one of the endings, but I got the bad ending. I still have to do like the upside down castle. Like, there's a lot to this game. It's called Castlevania Symphony of the Night. This game's soundtrack is some of the best soundtrack in video game history. It's amazing soundtrack. And it has over 140 different enemy bosses and ghastly creatures. The story is really good, and it's got a lot of different rooms to go through. The level design is really good. And I realized at the end of the game, near the end, I realized that Richter Belmont is the same voice actor. The guy that plays as Richter Belmont, he also plays as Chris Redfield in Resident Evil 1. So I knew I thought that voice sounded familiar, and I was like, is that Chris? And it was. I'm like, yeah, I know that voice. Number 18. I've also only beaten once, and I plan on playing it again on Steam. I beat it for about over a year ago for the PS5, and it was a perfect remake. And let's just show you. Silent Hill 2, the remake. This game was awesome. Amazing remake. Perfect remake. They did everything right. Bloober Team, they did everything right. I was very skeptical playing this game at first, but I always go in with an open mind and no expectations. And it did not disappoint me, in my opinion. The only thing, if I were to point out that I would be like nitpicky at, it's not a big deal. But after a while, there's a lot of the enemies you're forced to pretty much like fight, versus like the original. You can like basically run through the whole game without fighting an enemy. Things I liked about this remake. I like how they upped the difficulty. Like, the difficulty is much harder than the original. The original Silent Hill 2 is really easy. And another thing that I liked about this remake is that they added upon it. They extended the game. That's how you make a perfect remake. They took what the original had and then they expanded upon it, just like RE1 Remake. They added a lot of different puzzles to this game. A lot of puzzles to this game, which is awesome. And obviously they improved the mechanics, they made the fighting better. The boss fights were obviously a lot better. And yeah, they tweaked some things. Oh, and another thing that I love that they did, if you've played the original, you know what I mean. They added certain places in this game that were from the original, like the old puzzles from the original game. They put on here. They put in the remake here. And if you click on it, it has like it seems like it's like a past life thing where the video kind of shakes, like the screen, kind of shakes, and it makes this nice music that plays. And you realize like what they did, like how I took it as like they said we didn't forget about the original, so we just thought we'd throw that in there as an Easter egg, So I thought that was really cool. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the puzzle from the original, or this, certain points in this remake, they did that, which was really cool. One thing about this game at the end, there's like that long monologue and stuff. It didn't hit me as hard as the original game did. First time I played the original game back in 2020, 2021, so it was somewhat recently that I played the original. That game I felt more emotional at the end of the game. I didn't feel it on this game. So that's why I was like, man, it was the voice acting. The original voice actress in the original game did a really good job. I heard that she actually in real life started crying when she was doing the monologue in the original. But this game, it just, at the end, I'm just being nitpicky about it, but I'm like, I was looking forward to the monologue at the end of this game and stuff, and of the letter to James and stuff, In your restless dreams, do you see that town? But this has a great story. Silent Hill 2 remake, and obviously the original, just Silent Hill 2 in general has a great story. So, yeah. The next game, number 17. Resident Evil 4, the original. This one's for the PS4, so it's upscaled, remastered and stuff. I also do have the PS2 version, but the PS2 version is like the worst platform to play on. You play this, and then you play the PS2 version. It's like day and night, It says one of the highest rated games in history. This is the game that started it all with third person, like over the shoulder shooter, In my opinion, the best action horror game ever made. The best action horror game ever made. Yeah. You got the iconic chainsaw guy. But yeah, this game is amazing. It's a lot of people's favorite Resident Evil game. I would say it's in my top 5, maybe. Maybe not even in my top 5. It could be it's definitely in my top 10, but I can't remember. I might do a video on my top 10 favorite Resident Evil games, if you guys are interested. I don't know. But yeah. It's amazing. Which brings me to the next game. I had to put it right next to each other because Resident Evil 4, the remake, is a perfect remake. Again, they hit it right. Just like RE1 remake and RE2 remake, even though RE2 remake's not perfect by any means. RE2 remake's not a perfect remake, but it's still a very good game. Survival is just the beginning, and I love the mechanics that they added in RE4 remake. Like you can see here, Leon is able to parry the chainsaw guy with his knife. That's why upgrading the knife in this game is very, very important to improve the durability and stuff. It saves you from a lot of trouble. It's just a well-polished game. Even RE4 original is very, it's aged really well. Yeah. And by the way, the DLC is much better, much more improved on the RE4 remake. It's honestly my favorite. Separate Ways is my new favorite DLC in the franchise for RE4 remake. Separate Ways, when you play as Ada, it's amazing. Ashley's segment was much better than the original. They never scrapped anything. If anything, they added to it, which is awesome, Yeah, just really cool. The next game, number 15. The Matrix Path of Neo. Now, when I first played this game, I saw it, I think it was at Target. I saw it on the shelf, and I was like, oh my gosh, you get to play as Neo, the one And not only you get to play as Neo, you get to play through the trilogy of the movies, like Matrix 1, Reloaded, Revelations, all in one game, to show his path and his experiences through all the battles and stuff. And it's really cool that they recreated it into a game. It was written by the Wachowski brothers and directed. They did this too, you know. The only complaints I have with this is that the combat is a little bit clunky in a way where certain parts of the game your blocking is a little inconsistent to other parts of the game. Sometimes you have to, like, when you're blocking, you gotta, like, push the triangle button at the same time they're about to hit you, so you block. But the timing throughout the game is different. Sometimes it's inconsistent. Sometimes you're able to block a full combo, and other times you do the same thing and it'll only let you block a couple attacks. I don't know if that was intentionally done because it would have been too easy. The game would have been too easy because you're playing as Neo, because he's really powerful. I don't know why they made that choice, or if that was intentional, or if it's just like kind of like a game bug a little bit. I don't know. Because when I played the Enter the Matrix a lot, and I really like the mechanics in that game. I wish they would have stuck with the same formula for Enter the Matrix and this game. If they did that, because in Enter the Matrix you can counterattack. Like, let's say someone punches you, if you push the square button to block and they punch you at the same time, there's a lot of different counterattacks that you can do, a lot of cool counterattacks that you can do to your opponent. I wish they would have kept that in this game. If they would have, this game would have been freaking amazing. I mean, it's still amazing. I really like this game a lot, but if they would have kept the same formula combat in Enter the Matrix in this game, it would be awesome. But yeah, they still have a lot of different moves and fights that you can do. You can throw your enemy into a wall, and the wall can break. The walls are breakable. It's so cool. You can fight a bunch of Agent Smiths just like in the movie, like it shows. Right there, he's got the pull. He's fighting all the Smiths. Morpheus and Neo in the first one. It's just, I mean, if you're a Matrix fan, you would love this game. It's amazing. And throughout Neo's journey, you upgrade your character, and you can upgrade more attacks and stuff. It's awesome. Yep. So number 14. This was hard because I couldn't decide where I wanted to place this one. So yeah, this would be 14. Silent Hill. This game is awesome. It's very scary for a PS1 game because of the psychological aspect of it. Every town has its secrets. Some are just darker than others. Yep. You play as a father named Harry Mason. You're searching for your missing daughter Cheryl in the town of Silent Hill. Some of the levels are really scary, like when you go into the elementary school. Oh my gosh. And then it changes to the other world. It's a classic for sure. It's a very good game. Silent Hill 3, which is actually a continued sequel to the first one. The first and the third one are connected. And the second one's just a standalone. So this is supposed to be 17 years later, I believe. Play as Heather. Heather is my favorite character in the Silent Hill franchise. Silent Hill is I would say is my second favorite franchise of all time. And the cutscenes in this game are so memorable. It's just the story alone is really good. Everything you never wanted to see. Of course, my least favorite part in this game is the subway. It's so easy to get lost in the subway when you're trying to find your way through, your way back home. I don't want to give too many spoilers if you haven't played it, but the game is over 20 years old. Silent Hill is a very complicating story to follow, though. Alright, number 12. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. Now I know they just did like a remake, or it was a remastered. I think it was a remake. Delta 4, or like, is it Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta, I think. I haven't played that one. I haven't played the newest one, like, of this version of this game. But I heard it was good. But this game is awesome. It's actually the origins of Metal Gear Solid as a franchise. It's actually the story-wise, this is the beginning, where it's in the 1960s. You play as Big Boss, and you find out how things came to be, like later on. You can change your camo to blend in with the environment. You have to hunt for your food, survive in the forest. The boss fights, I mean, one of my favorite boss fights in the whole franchise. Now, I've beaten pretty much the whole franchise of Metal Gear Solid, minus a couple spin-offs. And my favorite boss fight in this game, or one of my favorite boss fights, and pretty much in the whole franchise, is the end. I love that fight, where it's like a sniper grind, where you're just trying to find the end. You can fight them in different ways. You can either snipe them, or you can just trail him by using your thermal goggles and trail his footsteps and sneak up behind him. There's different ways you can take him down. And the boss, the very final boss, that's another fun boss fight. When you're facing the boss, you can use CQC on her. If you time it right, you can. I mean, if you use your tranquilizer gun, if you take down their stamina and versus their health, you can get unlockable, like, costumes and stuff. It's really neat. Yeah, there's multiple ways to play this game. It's really cool. You can go guns a-blazing or stealth, And the CQC is awesome, too. So, yeah. Number 11. Syphon filter. many memories with this game. This game is awesome. I know there's 6 in the series, 6 in the franchise. I have the first 5. I never did play the 6th one. I might eventually get it at High Score Gaming or whatever. And maybe just to complete the whole series, because I played the first 5, so. But 1 and 2 are just amazing. S tier, S plus tier, 1 and 2. 3, I wasn't a big fan of. 4 is my least favorite. In fact, 4 is probably like the hardest game I had to go through. Like 4 is probably one of the hardest games I've ever played. Not even gonna lie. The Omega Strain. Like, dang. I mean, that game will destroy you. If you don't know what you're doing. Especially first playthroughs. Blind playthroughs, like, oh my gosh. 5 was okay. It was alright, but definitely not an S tier game. But the first and second one are amazing. And I put this on number 11. Eliminate the Syphon filter virus. You play as Gabe Logan. And the level designs were just amazing. I will have to say, though, that when I was a kid and I played this for the first time, oh my gosh, the last level is almost impossible to get through. Almost impossible. Obviously now it's pretty easy, but still it can be a little challenging. But the last level, man, wow. And there's another mission that really drove me nuts. And it was the snow mission. I think it was mission 9. I want to say, where if you get caught, the alarm goes off, and every time you're going to be get spawned with enemies. You're better off just restarting the level. But yeah, it's a very fun game though. Cool cutscenes in that. Number 10. Now my top 10, like I said before, I kind of rearranged. So I think I have it locked in though. Number 10. Silent Hill 2, the original. Silence is broken. This game is just so iconic and memorable. My first playthrough of this was just so memorable, and it just stuck with me. And I know it's got janky controls on this one, but the story, I feel like it was told really well. And the jankiness of the controls kind of have that charm to it too. It just holds a charm. I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't decide which one I wanted to put in here. The remake in my top 10 to like replace this one, but I think I just have to stick with the original. Like, I just based it off like my first experience through this game. It's just so well done. Yeah. Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm afraid to talk about too much about the games, but number 9. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End. This game is amazing. In fact, the Uncharted franchise is probably, it's my third favorite franchise ever. So it goes Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Uncharted. And 4 is my favorite out of the 4. I know they have Lost Legacy, that was also a good game as well, but out of the mainline titles, I'd say 4 is my favorite. It's close between 4 and 2. 2 is also really good, but yeah. Yeah, just the music, the level design, and the story of this game is cool. I like how it connects to all of the other games. Yeah. Number 8. The Last of Us Part 1. I went with the remastered version, PS5. It just looks better, you know. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing much to say about this. I mean, it's a legendary game. It's amazing. Travel across the country looking for a virus or the cure to the virus. And Ellie was the cure. But you know, as most of you know, what Joel did, I mean, I can see why Joel did what he did at the end of this game. You know, he just didn't want to lose another daughter. And he was attached, and it kept him living, he found something to fight for, like he said, you know. But, yeah, it's just, the enemy design with the clickers, you know, so iconic. Yeah. It's just a really cool journey to play through this game. When I played through it, the first time I played it was back in 2019, I think. It's the first time I played it. I think I've now beaten it like 15, 20 times. It's a long game too. So. Number 6. Resident Evil 1 Remake. I know it comes with RE0, but let's look at RE1 Remake. Yeah. RE0 is still good, but it doesn't hold a candle to RE1 Remake. Again, this is a perfect remake in the series. Everything from the original and they expanded to it with the Lisa Trevor story. They added another story to this game with Lisa Trevor, and it's a pretty dark story, but yeah, and they added the Crimson Zombies, which was really terrifying because they can like run after you and stuff. Added the puzzles in this game are amazing, very creative with their puzzles in this game. Yeah. Number 5. Resident Evil 2, the remake. I'm sorry, number 6. This is number 6. Resident Evil 2 Remake. Even though this is not a perfect remake, it's still fun as hell. It's really good. The game is awesome. And that just goes to show you, it doesn't even have to be perfect, and it's still good. They still nailed it. Because RE2, regardless, like RE2 in general is like the best sequel, in my opinion, one of the best sequels in video game history. The RPD, classic RPD, just amazing. It's my favorite part in the whole entire franchise is the RPD. I love the RPD. And obviously Raccoon City, it's just awesome. Leon S. Kennedy and Claire Redfield, two very iconic characters in the series. Yeah, not much else to say. Obviously the zombies are really terrifying. It's probably the best looking zombie game, in my opinion. Like, the zombies are just so cool and scary when they stagger and stuff, and it's fun when you get the crit shots, blow their heads off, and it's all RNG, Mr. X chasing you. You can hear the steps. You don't know where he's coming from. He could be on the other side of the door, you don't know. Which is really terrifying. The first time I played this game, I'm like, oh my gosh, Mr. X is chasing me through the whole RPD. And you can make the classic music in the save room, or in the main hall. You can add on the classic music from the original on here. And the outfits, it's really cool. You can unlock stuff. If you get S ranks on hardcore, you can unlock weapons and all that. Yeah, it's a really well-made game. One of the best horror games ever made. All right, down to the top 5. Number 5, Syphon Filter 2. This game is so good. There's not a single level that I do not like. There's not a single level that I don't like. I like every single bit of this game. This game is amazing. It's not too often where I can't find a level that I don't like. Every single level I like in this game. Like, when I think about it, there's not a single level, that I can think of that I don't like. I mean, this is an all-around solid game. Deadly espionage in a world held hostage. You're fighting terrorism. And you play as Gabe Logan. And you play as Leon Zing and Gabe Logan. There's 2 discs. And yeah, it's just amazing. You gotta help retrieve the Syphon Filter virus from terrorist hands. Intelligence reports have confirmed that the Syphon Filter virus is being sold to a terrorist nation. Gabe and Leon Zing use lethal force to stop the sale and prevent imminent acts of biowarfare. Special Agent Lipton. Lipton. It's Teresa Lipton. That's another character that was introduced in this game. Yeah. Just a really fun game. The music is amazing. The music is just awesome. Number 4. Resident Evil Director's Cut. The OG Resident Evil. I mean, the FMV footage in the beginning of this game is amazing. So memorable. The voice acting is really bad, which makes it really iconic, and it holds that charm to this day. Because the voice acting's so bad, it makes it that much better. The puzzles are ridiculous. It's awesome. Like, you can play this game in a harder difficulty and get a different perspective of this game. You can blow zombies' heads off with RNG on the hardest difficulty. You got different camera angles versus the original mode. Items and all that are placed differently depending on the difficulty you play in. Yeah, it's just it's the birth of survival horror. This game started it all. So, play as play as Chris or Jill. Jill is my favorite character in Resident Evil. Jill and Barry are my two favorites. And I love how they, work together in this game. Even though Jill and Chris are partners, but they kind of separate, Chris has Rebecca, Jill has Barry. And in my opinion, Jill and Barry are just they go really good together. They're my two favorite characters. Number 3, the OG Resident Evil 2. Like I said, in my opinion, probably the best sequel in any video game. This game right here. Can you survive the horror? You play as Leon and Claire. They have A scenario, B scenario. You play as Claire first, Leon next. So Claire A, Leon B, you get the cannon run. Or you can flip-flop them, do Leon A, Claire B, to get a different perspective. I mean, to complete this game 100%, there's 4 different scenarios. You got Claire A, Leon B, and then you flip-flop them with Leon A, Claire B. Then you have your 4, to experience, to get the most out of this game. Lots of replayability. And then they have, depending on the version that you're playing, you can play extreme battle mode. There's other modes too that you can play. The 4th survivor. Play as Hunk. Yeah, it's just amazing. This game is. Not much else to say. It's just an all-around great game. Number 2, and then there were 2. Now this was a very difficult choice. I went back and forth of these 2 games, of which I want to be my favorite game of all time. Oops. And I've went back and forth, however, the original favorite game of all time was my favorite game for over 20 years. So I had to switch back. So number 2 is Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. It's very neck and neck between this game and the other game. But you play as Jill Valentine and Nemesis, the most iconic, antagonist in video game history. At least one of them, he follows you in every room. Extremely terrifying. Especially for a PS1 game. It's amazing. You go through the Raccoon City, fight through Raccoon City, defeating hordes of zombies, solving interesting puzzles. And the puzzles are really good in this game. Then you team up with Carlos Oliveira. There's multiple different paths to take in this game. There's 2 different endings. This game has probably the most RNG. It's probably the most RNG game I've ever played. Where you can play this game 50 times and come out with different scenarios. Different. It's oh my gosh, I didn't see this coming. I go into this room and it's zombies. Or the next time you play it, oh my gosh, I didn't expect hunters to be in this room. The puzzle puzzles are different. There's 4 different variations for all these certain puzzles. It's just amazing, this game. So much replayability. It's got mercenaries on top of it, like a mini game, if you want to play that. It's, you can choose your different characters. It's got 8 different epilogues. You beat the game 8 different times. It's got 8 different endings of the epilogues and stuff, of stories to read through. It's awesome. And there is like a costume where you can play as Regina, like it's the Regina costume from Dino Crisis. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So last but not least, my favorite game of all time. You gotta give it to Metal Gear Solid. You're Snake, a government agent on a mission to regain control of a secret nuclear weapon space from terrorist hands. This is probably the game I've beaten the most games out of all the games I've played in my life, which I've played hundreds and hundreds of. This is the game I've probably beaten the most by far. I played the crap out of this game as a kid. It came out in 98. I was like 6 years old. Just played the crap out of this game. It's so good. Definitely ahead of its time. For a PS1 game, this game was way ahead of its time. The boss fights are so unique. Every single boss fight you play in this game has different mechanics, gimmicks. Like, it's just amazing how much they add. The voice acting, the soundtrack, some of the best soundtrack in video game history. I could keep going on. Like, this game is amazing. And there's still people playing it to this day. Like 25 years. Over 25 years old. Like, damn. You know? Yeah, I've seen people on YouTube playing for the first time. And it just shows you this game has aged awesomely. Awesomely. I don't know if that's a word, but it's amazing, this game, you know. I don't want to give too much of it away if you've never played it before, but I highly recommend you guys play this game if you haven't. It's just, it's got 2 discs. And yeah. That's all I got. This is a long video, but if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're new, and we will see you guys on the next video. Peace. I need a new battery in this. Alright, bye guys.